Hello and welcome to I Am Totally Rivenous's channel. Version 2.6 introduces two new disk drive sets and they are interesting. While one might look like the saving grace for defense units, there are some surprising twists and turns where it might not always be the best choice for them. And the other set is actually quite good, but only for the handful of characters that can actually use it. Anyway, back to I Am Actually Rivenous's channel.
Thank you, I went to lose. Little did he know that I apparently cannot count to 7, nor does he know that he actually lied when I gave him that script. But let's talk about that later. For now, let's begin and talk about whether or not the new sets are worth farming for you. Let's begin with the new defense set called Bunny in Wonderland. Not as in providing defense as a stat, but as it being a set specifically for defense agents, means Zhao, Caesar, Seth, and Panya He. The set's 2-piece provides 10% HP, and the 4-piece only works when the equipper is a defense agent. If the equipper uses their EX special or when any team member uses a defensive or evasive assist, all squad members will gain a 6% damage bonus stacking up to 3 times. These stacks then decay one at a time, and that part will become very important in a bit. Basically, this set provides an 80% damage bonus to the team. But let's first quickly talk about the 2-piece. It is a great choice for Lucia and Zhao, and arguably can also be used on any Rupture unit such as Yetari, Manato, Banyue, and Yejuan. However, both Branch and Blade Song as well as Woodpecker are usually better choices for the 2-piece slot, and so are the elemental damage bonus sets, namely Polar Metal for Yetari, Inferno Metal for Manato and Banyue, and Chaotic Metal or Shining Aria for Yejuan. If you have great subset counts on the new set, however, it can be used as a generic 2-piece for these units. But I also would not necessarily recommend farming it for this purpose alone. Alright, let's talk about the 4-piece. It requires the equipper to be a defense agent, can hence only be used on the 4 previously mentioned units, and is arguably also their best in slot choice for all of them. However, there are 2, let's call them exceptions I want to talk about. First up is Seth. Seth can wield a 4-piece Freedom Blues rather well, as well as a 4-piece Astral Voice. Depending on the team comp and matchup, both of these can be a superior choice over the new set, and while the new set is basically a guaranteed permanent 18% damage bonus, Astral Voice can go up as high as 24%. But it does require a good amount of access to quick assists and hence also a good stack management. For most people, a difference of 6% damage bonus is not really worth it to consider, however, and given the ease of use of the new set, it is likely the better choice for most players, albeit with just slightly lower overall potential. As for Zhao, she really loves the new set. But now you might say, but Riv, her EX special costs are too high and you don't parry in Yeshunguang teams. And you would be right, kinda. But at least as far as all of the new bosses go, they have one factor in common. They all feature at least one control skill phase during which you will be forced to parry. Additionally, and this is where we loop back to the beginning of the video, because stacks decay one by one and all stacks durations are refreshed upon refresh or decay, it is possible to easily maintain all 3 stacks even in Yeshunguang teams. If you are unsure, really, just parry once in a while, it is not gonna hurt your score too much. While Astral Voice still has the higher potential, especially with the Sona and Zhao paired together, maintaining Astral Voice stacks is significantly harder and hence the new set might be just better for you. As for Caesar and Panya He, it is their best in slot without question. It beats out a 4-piece Protopunk and Swing Jazz in every way, and not only does it provide more damage bonus than Protopunk does, the buff also lasts much longer and can be refreshed mid-stun as well. And, well, Swing Jazz just has a bad uptime, not much else to say here. TLDR being the new defense set is very worth farming for any defense unit and usually not really much worse than Astral Voice, while also being much easier to play, to not say it literally plays itself. With that being said, let's talk about the other set, Notes from the Chained. It is a set for an agent that is not yet released, and hence, unless you want to farm for an unknown future agent, not very much worth farming for. However, at least the 2-piece provides a generic 10% ice damage bonus and is hence very well usable on Miyabi, Yugo, Yatari, and Ellen, at least as of right now. The 4-piece effect requires the equipper to trigger a bloom to gain the anomaly proficiency bonus and also freeze to gain the anomaly and disorder damage bonus. The first condition can effectively only be fulfilled by Bernice, Grace, Adia, and Vivian, but they are unable to trigger the second effect. Yes, you could use this set on them, but with the 2-piece being useless and them unable to gain the anomaly and disorder damage bonus, this set falls behind a lot for all of those. Hence, I would not recommend this set for any of the current Bloom users. As a small additional side note, both Bernice and Grace also would have problems maintaining a reasonable uptime on the set, making it even worse. Miyabi does not have a blooms, but Miyabi can apply frost and hence freeze, and so can Sukaku. Unfortunately, a 4-piece Freedom Blues is way too important for Sukaku to give up upon, so that is not an option. And while 16% anomaly and disorder damage are nice, it can also not really keep up with her signature set Branch and Blade Song, and that is not even mentioning that most players by now have very good Branch and Blade pieces. So, should you farm the new sets? Well, in my honest opinion at least, as of right now, probably not. The defense set is really good, but other options such as Astral Voice exist and can do well enough in most teams with semi-frequent access to quick assists, and the other set is for an agent that is really not yet released. Also means unless you want to farm for an unannounced agent, this won't really be of much use either. But if you struggle to maintain Astral Voice stacks and simply want to smash buttons when they glow, or you simply want an easier time building Zhao, at least the defense set is very worth farming for. Unfortunately, it is paired with a currently somewhat dead set, so unless you know that you want to pull and build a yet unannounced agent, I would much rather recommend you to use your battery on something else instead, and if you really want the defense set, you know, Elfies exist, just pull for it on Elfies shop, right? There is also no reason to make this video any longer, so yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to check out I Win to Lose for awesome Genshin and Wuthering Waves content, let me know your thoughts about the new sets in the comments, and of course, join the Discord. I've also launched a new channel for account reviews and stream highlights, you will find a link in the description, please check it out, thank you. Lastly, as per usual, a huge thank you to my YouTube and Patreon members. If you want to support me, you will find a link in the description or simply click the join button below. I wish you a great day. Peace!